Maybe it's hot out. Maybe you're short on time. For reasons I'll never understand, you want Vietnamese food, but you're just not in the mood for a giant steaming bowl of noodle soup. This pork vermicelli bowl, bún thịt nướng, is the answer. It's bright, it's fragrant, it's fresh. So let's go. So today I'm going to show you how to get restaurant quality vermicelli bowls ready in under 30 minutes using hot pot pork, some basic Vietnamese garnishes that I prepared in my essentials video, and plain old vermicelli noodles. So the first thing we're going to do is marinate our pork.
This is a bit of a hack using hot pot meat.
What's nice about the sliced hot pot pork is that it's thin enough to take in all the flavor really quickly. It's still very soft and it has the right balance of fat and meat. The sliced meat that I have is pork butt. It's really weird because they call it butt, but it's actually a part of the shoulder. But you can also use pork belly. I don't know, I still want to pretend like this is a healthy dish, so I'm using pork butt / shoulder.
If people can't find sliced pork like this, hot pot meat, how would they do it alternatively?
You can buy like a big piece of pork shoulder and slice it up yourself. It's just going to result in a little bit thicker slices because it's very hard to get it thinly sliced like this. Something that's really delicious too is if you buy the chunks of pork belly from Costco and slice it up that way and skewer it too. That could be really good, but it is a little bit more rich and indulgent. So when you buy this hot pot pork, it comes pre-rolled like this and it's frozen. So I've let it thaw, and what you're going to want to do is put it into a bowl. Look at how thin these slices are. You see that? And look at the marbling of meat and fat. Like that's gonna result in really flavorful pieces of meat when we grill it. So we're gonna be seasoning this pork with soy sauce, sesame oil, fish sauce, oyster sauce, chicken bouillon, sweetened condensed milk, and some 5-spice powder. And of course, we can't forget our aromatics, which are chopped lemongrass, garlic, and chopped shallots. So there are some recipes where I don't like to put the lemongrass, garlic, and shallots directly onto the marinade because when it grills for a long period of time, it tends to burn. But since this pork is very thin and will cook very quickly in the air fryer, I'm okay with leaving it on. When you're cooking meats like pork chops, for example, that will take a really long time on the grill, I actually like to extract the juices and use that instead. After you put in the marinade, mix well. So we're just gonna let it sit for maybe 15 minutes. Should be able to absorb the flavors really quickly. So what we're gonna wanna do is skewer these.
What's your technique?
So you're gonna have to fold it several times and then skewer it on in a zigzag fashion.
Not just behind the camera. Getting put to work. Sing for your supper.
Why is your meat so floppy?
I got all the crappy leftover pieces here.
We need some better gloves too. Look at this.
Do my best.
So thank you very much for helping me skewer this meat. We're gonna be putting this into the air fryer. Back home in Vietnam, they would do this over charcoal grill, which is amazing and it will give it a really nice taste. But for sake of convenience, and I did promise you that this will be done in 30 minutes, we're gonna be using the air fryer.
I love seeing those videos of people cooking on those charcoal fans in Vietnam with like the fan flapping though. It looks super legit.
When I go back to Vietnam though, that scent of meat grilling over charcoal, it just hits something in my nervous system. No joke. It brings me back to some childhood memory. It's a very strong memory for me and it just always clicks when I smell that.
This is street meat actually in Vietnam, I guess if you think about it.
Yeah, it is. So don't overcrowd the basket, guys. Give it some room to breathe because again, you want a nice crust to form. If you put them too closely together, it's gonna steam like anything, right? Let's air fry this at 380 for 12 minutes, okay? So the next thing we're gonna do is boil our vermicelli. As I've mentioned in other videos, when you go shopping in an Asian grocery store, everything is translated to say rice vermicelli. So you wanna be really careful to look for packaging that says bún. So this is the bún in bún thịt nướng. It's Vietnamese for rice noodles.
Bun noodles.
You love making that joke. It's not making it into the video.
Bun you.
So bring some water to a boil, and once it is boiled, we will drop in the rice noodles. It's halfway through the cooking time, so I'm going to be flipping them over so that the other side gets a nice sear as well. So towards the end of the 12 minutes, I actually turned the temperature up to around 385, 390, just so we can get a nice char on the skewers. Let's check them out now. Wow, look at that. So the meat's ready. We're just gonna wait a little bit for our noodles to finish cooking and we can assemble our bowls.
Amazing. Yum. How do you tell that it's done? No color in the middle, right? Shh.
So the noodles were cooking for around 9 minutes. I've drained it and I'm gonna let it sit to cool down a little bit. And it's very, very important for you to let it drain really well. Otherwise, it's gonna be very soggy. And when you pour the fish sauce all over the noodles, it won't cling onto the noodles and you're not gonna get any of that delicious taste. So be patient. And temperature is actually important here too, guys, because Vietnamese people actually don't eat these noodles super piping hot. We like the noodles to be maybe slightly warm or even room temperature sometimes. What's gonna be hot in the noodle bowls is the protein.
Why is that?
So back in Saigon, this is actually a street food. So vendors would have a charcoal grill and the meat will be going all day. So that's gonna be hot for sure. But what's already prepared is gonna be the vermicelli, the herbs and veggies, right? So those can't be kept hot when you're selling on the street side. So I think that's where the dish got its beginning. We've come to love it for that. That's what makes it really refreshing, like on a hot summer day. You don't always want to be sitting there with like a steaming hot bowl of food, right? Especially in Vietnam where the temperature is like 40 degrees Celsius. All right, so we're ready for assembly. In front of me, I have this beautiful platter of vegetables and herbs. And these are the accoutrements that come with this dish. This is just basics, guys. In Vietnam and in a lot of different households, it can get wild. Like there's so many different herbs, but here I just have mint because it's the middle of winter. For me to buy all the herbs I want, it's gonna cost me more money than the protein. Seriously, like there's been times where I've spent like $20, $30 on just herbs. I have some chopped lettuce, some cilantro, bean sprouts, cucumber, and some very essential Vietnamese garnishes, scallion oil, pickled daikon and carrots, and crushed peanuts. And if you want to know how to make these, you can refer to my Vietnamese Essentials video, which I'll link right here. So I'm going to be starting with some lettuce. Put as much or little as you'd like. Some bean sprouts, cucumber. If you like cilantro, you can grab some and just put it in. I like to tear mine actually. I like really, really vibrant bites of cilantro.
I feel sad for people who don't like cilantro. They have that soapy gene. It's my favorite.
It is quite sad. Let's put in our noodles. Okay, this will not be a low carb kind of day. And here's where it's gonna get really delicious. On top of these noodles, you're gonna wanna put a couple spoonful of the scallion oil. That's gonna take the noodle a really long way. A little bit of the pickles. And for mint, you can either, tear it up. I like it in small ribbons like this, like a chiffonade ribbon.
A what ribbon?
Chiffonade.
What kind of weird words are you using here?
Hey man, when you watch enough food content, you learn. The skewers, we can either leave it as skewer form or we can actually take it out.
That's a hearty looking bowl. That's a lot of protein.
And let's put the scallion oil all over the meat as well. Okay, well, there it is. Well, we made it.
Yeah, it looks so good. So again,
don't forget, you're forgetting the fish sauce.
Oh, right, yeah. Gotta load it up. Okay, let's begin. So much good flavor. I can really taste the lemongrass in here.
It's such a balanced bowl. The vermicelli noodles still so bouncy, and I love the way the scallion oil just lends a really rich flavor.
Everything's so fresh and light. You don't feel guilty eating this. There's tons of veggies in here.
What I do like about the pork is that there's so much caramelization on the surfaces. You really get that charred bite in every single bite. I love how balanced this is. It's so fresh. When I go eat Vietnamese food with some of my friends, not everyone likes noodle soups. This is a really good alternative.
I would like to order this maybe on like a really hot day. I know in Vietnam, when it's hot outside, people still like to eat pho or not, but for me, I'm not accustomed to that. We'll go to a Vietnamese restaurant with some Western friends, like, American, Canadian friends, and they'll order this dish. But I noticed sometimes people put hoisin sauce in this, which is really weird because I think they're comfortable with that really sweet sauce. So if you do order this, try the fish sauce. It's not too fishy.
I think people are intimidated by the fish sauce, right?
Yeah.
Is it the name?
It's like a very pungent smell. Maybe it's kind of like blue cheese where it's an acquired taste, but it really balances this out. It's a nice dressing.
Yeah, give it a try, guys. Like you saw how I made this. It's literally sugar water with a splash of fish sauce. It's okay.
It's doable.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed that and that you see how easy this is to make at home. Hope you get a chance to try it.
Yeah.